Hello, everybody. I'm Gabriel Balin, Product Manager for LIMSABC, and today I'm going to show you how you can easily create simple reports in our system that can generate CSV Excel files that you can then download and consume upstream or downstream for your business needs. So in order to do that, I'm going to expand my menu. I'm going to search for my reports, and I have two applications here of interest. The report runner, which is where the users will run the reports and be able to generate the data, and the report templates, and this is where you manage the report and the templates and different settings for that. So I'm just going to head there quickly, and this is the report list that I have in my system, but depending on your system, you might have more or less reports. Each of these reports is active right now, but I'm going to go into the details and show you some of the settings that we have for each report. So the first thing are the parameters. This is where you can specify user input values that the user will have to fill in. So in this case, I have an insurance name, I have a caption for that, and I have a type of free text. If I edit this one, here I have a few other things. I can have different types, including a multi-select and drop downs. And here I can specify models. So if it needs to come from our status or our insurance list or from the client list, those can be just selected from as a model, and then the data will be populated when the user will enter. You can have date times, and then the user will be prompted with a daytime picker. You also have a few settings here for um, to be required. So the user has to put a value in, or if it's a system. Now, if it's a system parameter, then the user cannot change the value, but it is a parameter. And you can have different things like the current user, or you can have the department or the role, or you can have um, other things that you calculate based on a value here that is a PHP code here that you can have, and you can calculate these values. Um, so let me close this one and go to the next one, which is the access. This is where you can manage the different roles that you can that will have access to this. So it would be in this case, I have my admin and my billing role being able to access the report, but could be an external user, could be uh, any roles. You have to specify a role, otherwise nobody will be able to run the report. So that's an important factor. The style allows you to customize certain columns, certain headers if you're generating an Excel report. And the delivery schedule and the delivery option would allow you to schedule these reports to be delivered by email on a predefined schedule. So let's say every Monday at 5 a.m. you can have this email sent to the line manager as an example, but any kind of scheduling is possible. So let me go now to edit this report and see some of the options we have here. Besides obviously the name and the status, we have a Jasper flag. This allows you to generate Jasper reports. There will be a PDF at the end. That is an option that allows you to generate a more advanced and better looking reports. You can also specify the delimiter between the data and also the line ending, and this is important depending um, on who's on the other end receiving these files. The show data will, when the user runs the report, will show the data on the screen in a data grid. And you can also have these two options to generate Excel and generate CSV, where a CSV or an Excel file will be generated along with this one. So you can control how the data gets to the user, gets displayed to the user. The generate tab, the limited text, self-explanatory, will use tabs to delimit uh, the hide header row. So this will not generate a header row in the file. It will be straight the data. And this is used if you want to merge it with other, or you want to load it into a system where it's already it's parsing from first line. And then the save history is useful for audit and for troubleshooting, where it will save every time a user ran the report, and it will save the data as well, so you can see the data that the user received at that time. Now I'm going to go into the actual report and talk a little bit about writing the queries, and I'm going to use this approval aging report, and I'm going to use this button right here. So this brings brings up the SQL editor, and this is a very simple query. It selects a lot of fields from these tables here, does a lot of inner joins, and selects all of these fields. Now, speaking of the tables are naturally named. So requisition has a requisition table. There is a status table. There is a client sample table, client side table, and a sample type table. So all of the tables, most of the tables are named like that, and the rule is each table has an ID, and then every time this table is being referenced, it is used with the table underscore ID. So requisition has a status ID. If it's joined with a client side, requisition will have a client side ID. If it's sample, is it will have a requisitions, it will have a sample ID. So very clear. We have a entity diagram that we can share with you. Few other things here I want to show is here you can use those parameters that I mentioned, and the curly brackets and percentage, beginning and end. That's how we determine that that's a parameter, and those will be inputs, will be replaced with the data that the user entered. We sanitize, we make sure no SQL injection and so on, but they will be replaced here, and the data will be used. The other thing are these session-specific values, like the current department. We also have current user, current role, current service group, that will give you the actual information about the user. So if it's an external user, you might want to put certain filters to make sure the user sees only the data they're supposed to see based on the user, based on the department as well. You can include and filter the data into based on those values. And here, just an example, we're excluding the global, so we're showing everything. Um, we're showing everything that is not global. So very straightforward. Uh, Ways to write the queries. You can easily search for things here. If you need to search for requisition, this will show you everything like that. So this is a very easy. It's not as advanced as a lot of other SQL editors, but you can always use copy and paste and run in different tools, and then add the SQL in here. You can close, save and close, and that will update the query. Now I'm going to head back to the running these reports quickly into the report runner and show you how that looks. So if I go to the report template, if I go to approval, daily approval aging report, this one, it had those two parameters, the from and the to date, and these are date pickers, so you can easily um, um, specify the date. So in my case, I have no data, but maybe if I go 20, I can get some data. So if I run my report, this will generate me the different files that I mentioned, and it will show me the data. It will show me the data in here. So very easy to generate and very easy to run for quick data access and data extract. Thank you, and I will catch you in the next one.